Matthew 8 shifts the focus from Jesus' teaching in the Sermon on the Mount to his miracles and healing ministry. It demonstrates his authority over sickness, nature, spiritual forces, and even social boundaries, confirming that he is the promised Messiah. In verses 1 through 4, Jesus heals a man with leprosy. The chapter opens with Jesus descending from the mountain, where a man with leprosy approaches him in humility and faith. He says, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus touches him, breaking social taboos, and says, "I am willing, be clean." The man is immediately healed. Jesus tells him to show himself to the priest and offer the gift Moses commanded, to fulfill the law. This story is also shared in Mark chapter 1. The key message is that Jesus has authority to cleanse and restore, even the outcast. In verses 5 through 13, Jesus heals the centurion's servant. As Jesus enters Capernaum, a Roman centurion approaches with remarkable confidence, believing that Jesus can heal his paralyzed servant simply by speaking a word. Jesus praises the centurion's faith as greater than any he has found in Israel and heals the servant from afar, emphasizing the wide reach of God's kingdom. He warns that many outsiders, Gentiles, will enter God's kingdom, while some Jews will be cast out. The servant is healed at that very hour. This story is also in Luke chapter 7. The key message is Jesus honors faith, not status or ethnicity. His power is not limited by distance or ritual. In verse 14 through 17, Jesus heals more people. Jesus heals Peter's mother-in-law, who is sick with a fever. She immediately gets up and begins to serve. That evening, many demon-possessed and sick people are brought to Jesus, and he heals all of them. This fulfills the prophecy from Isaiah 53:4. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. This story is also detailed in Mark chapter 1. The key message is Jesus shows compassion by healing the sick. In verses 18 through 22, Jesus details the cost of following him. As crowds grow, Jesus challenges two potential disciples, teaching that following him requires unwavering loyalty, greater than comfort, security, or family obligations. A scribe says he will follow Jesus wherever he goes. Jesus replies, "Foxes have holes, and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Another disciple asks to bury his father first. Jesus replies, "Let the dead bury their own dead." The key message is that following Jesus requires full commitment and willingness to give up comfort and delay. In verses 23 through 27, Jesus calms the storm. Soon after, Jesus and his disciples sail across the Sea of Galilee. A sudden violent storm threatens to sink their boat, while Jesus sleeps calmly. The terrified disciples wake him, and with a simple rebuke, he silences the wind and waves. The disciples are left stunned, asking, "What kind of man is this?" as they witness his authority over creation itself. This story is also in Mark chapter 4. The key message is that Jesus has authority over nature, and even in fear, he is present and in control. In verses 28 through 34, Jesus heals two demon-possessed men. Upon reaching the region of the Gadarenes, Jesus encounters two fierce demon-possessed men who immediately recognize his identity and authority. The demons beg Jesus to send them into a nearby herd of pigs, and when he permits it, the pigs rush down a steep bank into the sea and drown. The dramatic scene provokes fear rather than faith, and the townspeople plead with Jesus to leave their region. This story is also in Mark chapter 5. The key message is that Jesus has authority over spiritual forces, but not everyone welcomes his power or presence. There are 5 key themes in Matthew chapter 8. 1. Jesus' authority over disease, distance, nature, demons, and discipleship. 2. Faith matters. Both Jews and Gentiles are called to trust him. 3. Compassion in action. Jesus heals, touches, and restores the broken and marginalized. 4. Cost of discipleship. Following Jesus is not always convenient or comfortable. 5. Mixed responses to Jesus. Some worship him, others ask him to leave. Matthew 8 showcases the power and compassion of Jesus, confirming his identity as the Messiah. Through miracles and interactions, we see that Jesus cares for the sick, the outsider, the fearful, and the spiritually oppressed. But he also challenges would-be followers to count the cost of discipleship, reminding us that following him means surrender, trust, and courage.